Even before Elon Musk's dramatic and controversial takeover of Twitter, the restless mogul was pitching the social media company as his key to realizing a much bigger dream. Musk calls his next idea the X app. And if Musk-owned Twitter has already been a challenge for Washington's politicians and regulators, the disruption caused by the X app could easily dwarf it. The idea is a Western version of WeChat, the Chinese super app that more than 1 billion people use for messaging, payments, shopping, ride shares, gaming, news, and other daily activities. Musk is clearly serious about the plan. He tweeted about it this fall and pitched it to Twitter employees before he even bought the company, and reiterated the idea during a Twitter Spaces session in early December, saying WeChat has a lot of functionality that Twitter should have. There are plenty of business world obstacles to the X app, and Musk has had his hands more than full just keeping Twitter afloat, but he's also seen as ambitious enough to try anyway. Twitter's just one end of this future conglomerate app, said Michael Saman, a developer who helped create Instagram Stories, speculating that the X app could include finance, commerce, communication, news, entertainment, dating, music, and, of course, transportation. Musk's chief business interest. What could a Musk-owned super app look like, and how would it collide with Washington? There's no one authoritative answer, and a Twitter collapse would bring a quick end to the vision for now. But from observers and analysts, it's possible to engineer a kind of preview of the maximal version of what he wants to do, and project just how many corners of Washington could find themselves facing off against one of the wealthiest men on Earth. Financial services. The first and biggest question hanging over an everything app is money. Specifically, payments and even banking. Musk pitched investors on building Twitter into a digital payments behemoth that could generate as much as $1.8 billion by 2028 when he was getting financing for the buyout earlier this year. He hasn't dropped that ambition. It's kind of a no-brainer for Twitter to have payments in terms of both currency and crypto, and make that simple for people to use, Musk said in the December Twitter Spaces. I think it would make sense to integrate payments into Twitter so that it's easy to send money back and forth, Musk said at a Twitter all-hands meeting earlier this year. Currency as well as crypto. But if he tries, he'll be entering one of the most tightly regulated spaces in American business. Unlike social media platforms, which only hit Washington's radar recently, banking and payment companies have been under the microscope for decades. With multiple agencies and vast regulatory requirements to meet, a task that Musk has struggled with, even disdained as an entrepreneur. Privacy. Any successful X app would bring in a massive new haul of consumer data, and would require the company to navigate a complicated, evolving new patchwork of US and EU data privacy rules. Musk has already suggested Twitter's immediate future would include advertisements carefully tailored to individual users, which could mean more sophisticated use of customer data. This data collection would likely only increase with an X app that touched more parts of people's lives. Even before Musk took over, however, Twitter struggled to meet basic privacy and data handling requirements. The company has been under a consent decree with the FTC since 2011 for previously mishandling user data, and paid a $150 million fine in May 2022 for breaking its commitment to protect user data again. The FTC is currently investigating allegations made by former Twitter security chief Peter Mudge-Zatko, who claims the company intentionally misled the agency and violated the terms of the 2011 settlement, according to a person familiar with the probe who is not authorized to speak publicly. Healthcare. In China, people can look up doctors, book them, conduct a telehealth appointment, and even manage their medical records inside of WeChat. In other countries, patients can use WhatsApp to book their doctor appointments over text. In the US, that kind of user-friendly approach to healthcare is largely blocked by the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, the 1996 patient protection law setting strict rules around how healthcare providers share and store data. So an X app could track your fitness, scrape your data, and log your steps, but hit a wall when it comes to the highly regulated world of the American medical system. It doesn't mean Musk wouldn't try, but he'd need to find partners willing to test the edges of what's possible under the law. Musk doesn't have his own medical venture, though, and that raises another question. Neuralink is a brain-computer interface that allows a person to navigate a computer directly from their brain with an implantable device. Musk says the company has submitted most of the paperwork needed to get the FDA go-ahead for a clinical trial in 2023 in order to bring that invention to market. Transportation. Though Musk is often lumped in with pure tech moguls like Zuckerberg, he's primarily a transportation mogul, a maker of cars and rockets, with some interest in tunnels. Musk hasn't talked specifically about the transportation side of an X app, but WeChat also offers a ride-hailing service, and the X app has a range of potential applications for ride-hailing, transit, and more. Ian Adams, a specialist in the automotive technology practice at the Orrick law firm, envisions an app that offers a hub of information for easy access to hopping on transit, hopping in a rideshare, hailing an automated system. Who knows what that will look like, at what point. Antitrust. Both the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice are looking more and more closely at big tech companies' anti-competitive behavior. And while Musk's businesses don't currently run afoul of monopoly review by either agency, that could easily change if he were to buy a lot of other apps, said Charlotte Slayman, the competition policy director at nonprofit Public Knowledge. She said antitrust regulators may be concerned about a vertical relationship wherein Musk incentivizes his X app offering over competitors. And antitrust regulators may weigh in if Musk purchases another app that competes directly on his platform. From a competitive climate, now might not be the best time to even put up the fact that you want an app that does everything, former Facebook engineer Lala said. I don't think Congress is going to take lightly to that, so that might be victim number one. The network in the sky. When it comes to other competitors, Musk has an offering that many others still don't have: Starlink, the world's satellite internet constellation company. Operated by his firm SpaceX, it provides service to at least 36 countries, with plans to offer mobile phone service with T-Mobile in 2023. Depending on how he links up the satellites in the X app, Musk could start to collide with California's net neutrality law, which says internet service providers are not allowed to slow down or limit services online, especially efforts to advantage their products over competitors. Ever since the Trump administration rescinded the FCC's net neutrality policy, and Congress has failed to enact it into law, California's law is the de facto law of the land. Politics. For the average big tech giant, politics is a third-tier risk at best. The companies and moguls strategically spread out their political donations, and only occasionally do executives run afoul of elected officials, or get hauled in front of Congress. Musk is different. After being out of the political wind for years, he has jumped full bore into the American culture wars, attacking Democrats by name, re-platforming Donald Trump, and hosting elaborate Twitter threads suggesting collusion between the FBI and his own company. He's also aligned himself with Republicans, encouraging votes for the GOP in the 2022 midterms and backing a Ron DeSantis run for president in 2024, earning him the kind of support from the GOP that other tech billionaires can only dream of. However, Congress has failed to pass bipartisan tech legislation, and is unlikely to next year under a split House and Senate. So the action is expected to continue in state capitals, where legislatures have passed the most aggressive laws regulating tech platforms to date. That's all for today, guys. Let us know what's your take on this video in the comment section below. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. See you in the next one.